Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I try to show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are very richly blessed with from the food bank to make hopefully well-balanced, nutritious dinners. My husband and I eat low carb for health reasons, and as the sole cook in the house, it is easier for me to make one meal. So we generally eat low carb as a family. You will see modifications to that, like I will make low carb pizza for my husband and I, but my kids will eat regular pizza. Zoodles and noodles, just variations like that. But for the most part, we eat low carb as a family. So yeah, let's dive in. It is Monday night, and tonight we are having something new that we haven't ever tried before, and it is Big Mac salad. So it is everything that you would traditionally find on a Big Mac, only in a salad. Simple and easy. So we have some romaine hearts cut up. Onto that, I cooked up 2 pounds of 2 pounds of meat, a pound of ground beef, and a pound of ground turkey. I am not a huge beef fan. I'm learning to like it. But I do that to kind of cut the beef flavor, but then it's also cheaper to buy ground turkey, but my husband's not as big of a fan of ground turkey. So we compromise by meeting in the middle. On top of that, we have some minced onion, tomato from our garden, some diced dill pickles, some shredded cheddar cheese, and then the dressing is supposed to taste like the Big Mac sauce, special sauce. This is based on a recipe, so I will be sure to link that in the show notes. Based on my husband's reaction when I told him what we were having, I think this might end up being something that I make more often, just because, I mean, you can't get much cheaper than this meal in general, for still having lots of veg and decent amount of protein. So yeah, I'm excited to try this. I'm hungry. So we will see you tomorrow. It is Tuesday night, and tonight we are doing Taco Tuesday. I try to mix this up every once in a while, but my family usually revolts against me because everybody loves tacos. So tonight, this is 2 pounds of ground meat. I did a pound of ground beef and a pound of ground turkey like I did last night. And then I brown that up, and when it's all warm, I add in a can of drained black beans and then 2 packets of taco seasoning. Adding in black beans is a great way of stretching your meat. You could also do something like cooked lentils or even rice and stir it in, and it just makes it go a little bit further. All right, so let's try not to make you dizzy, and we'll swing over here right quick. I probably should have just paused that, but with that, we have this giant bag of lettuce that we got from the food pantry today. I'm going to try to get as much of this used as I can before it goes bad, and then at that point, I don't have any qualms about feeding it to the chickens because they are going to make me eggs with it anyway. But like you can see, I'm going to have to pick through it. For the kids, we get these small flour tortillas from Aldi. And for my husband and I, we will do the original Egg Life wraps. Flies, man, this year's bad. And we just use these as our tortilla option for making tacos, and they taste great. I always give my kids the option of taco salad, taco dip, or tacos. And I usually get at least one of each. So for the taco salad and taco dip, it is this with lettuce and just like a traditional taco salad. For taco dip, it's just the taco salad without the lettuce, which isn't exactly the greatest, healthiest thing in the world, but you know, you win some, you lose some. This bag I did notice is, it's a lot of pieces, so I'll probably just use this for the taco salad, and then I have a couple of the small bags of tortilla chips left that I'll use those. For topping, we have, this is the nacho cheese dip. It does not taste like salsa con queso, not even close. It doesn't even taste like the queso part of salsa con queso. So, I added I pulled out some, and then I added probably 1/4 cup of homemade salsa, home canned salsa, and mixed that up. So it's still not salsa con queso, but it's, you know, it at least tastes better than just plain old nacho cheese dip. I still have another jar of that, so I may try to find some other way of using the other jar. I'm wondering about like whether it would be good mixed into like a taco soup. But anyway, some sour cream, and then we picked up these little individual packets of guacamole at the food pantry today. So that is Tuesday night's dinner. I'm so excited about this one. I like tacos too. I mean, who doesn't? So we'll see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday night, and tonight's meal is brought to you by, I didn't know what I was making when I got up this morning. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I still didn't know. And I have a whole turkey thawing in the refrigerator with the intent on it is from last fall. I have been kind of overwhelmed with the idea of cooking it, so I've been putting it off. I would like to get it cooked and can part of it, but I was figuring I would have it for dinner. But it was 90 degrees today, and I did not want to do it today. And it wasn't quite thawed enough. I think it needed one more day. So at 3 o'clock, I pulled these out, which was just a party pack of brats from Aldi. My husband and I love these. I normally do not like brats. I will eat these no problem. With that, we have that one of the salad mixes. I just went ahead and mixed everything up. I left the croutons out so that we can all have it. We have a sliced tomato, and I managed to get enough green beans. My fall planting of green beans is doing smashingly. Like, it's doing better than my 3 full rows that I planted this spring. So I had enough to do a canner full, and one of the jars didn't seal, so green beans. Yeah, and then, are you ready for this? A little bit of a story time. Again, y'all, I cannot make this stuff up. We had a freak, like, straight line windstorm come through. Took all of 5 minutes to come through. It was like bright sunshine, this storm for 5 minutes, and then bright sunshine again, and it took down a tree. That landed on our garden shed and our deck, but just barely managed to miss our house. So that is a blessing. Insurance has been contacted, filing a claim to see what they can cover, but it's also one of those where if we find out that the copay or whatever, the deductible is crazy, then we may end up just cutting our losses on a deck that was already meh and a garden shed that it doesn't have a whole lot of damage, but yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit overwhelmed and tired, and we could use a break. So if you could pray for us, we just can't seem to catch a break here lately. And there's really not much more that we can give on, so thanks. But everything's going to be okay. No one was hurt. Like I said, our house is fine. So we are blessed in that. All right. That is Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Thursday night, and tonight we are having breakfast for dinner. I had fully intended on cooking that turkey today, and I might have kind of laid down and taken a nap. And about 4:30 in the afternoon, I was sitting at the school table with my 10-year-old and went, oh no, I forgot to cook the turkey. And I was like, that's okay. It can be put off until Saturday. We'll make it like a big meal for Saturday. And I said, but now I have to figure out what I'm making for dinner tonight. And he goes, can we have breakfast for dinner? And I was like, yep, I can do that because I can pull out sausage and go ahead and thaw it in cold water, And so I was like, all right, we'll do that. My kids love breakfast for dinner. Because I eat breakfast for breakfast literally every day. No. So anyway, these are our eggs. And then I went ahead and cooked up 2 pounds of ground sausage so that we would have some extra leftover sausage patties for me for breakfasts. And then some ground sausage for adding to like pizzas tomorrow night. But then also last week when we had breakfast for dinner, I went ahead and made the Keto almond flour bread that like you make in a mug. It's like 90 seconds in the microwave thing. And made just some really simple gravy. And it was so good. It was so fall and winter comfort food. And it was just delicious. And so I'm totally doing that again tonight because I have no desire to eat breakfast for dinner. So yeah, I wanted the extra meat for that. The kids are gonna have these strawberry cheesecake mini donuts from the food pantry. And then I took 2 cans of sliced peaches from the food bank. I drained one of them, put them in this pan, added in about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then some cinnamon and a little bit of allspice. So it's almost like a peach pie filling, but I didn't sweeten it with anything because I figured the peaches and then the juice off of the peaches is enough. So I just cooked that until it was nice and thick, like a nice creamy peach side. They smell delicious. So yeah, this meal, like, part of the reason why I did this is yesterday our high temperature was in the low 90s, and today it was in the mid 60s. We had an over 25 degree temperature drop overnight. So we have all been in like pants and sweaters and curled up under blankets, and just like I have the windows open because I'm enjoying it, but that just, I don't know, like that just sounded like good first day of fall food. So, all right, that is Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes it's store-bought, sometimes it's homemade, sometimes it's a cross between the two. Almost never is it takeout because we live too far out for them to deliver, and it's also just crazy expensive. I can buy a whole lot of frozen pizzas for the cost of just one large pizza from a pizza place, so we just don't do it. Yeah, tonight we're kind of doing that cross between the two. This is a loaf of panera bread. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was like cheddar bread. We had gotten these before, and I just put the loaf in the freezer, and I actually took the one loaf and cut it 3 times to make 3 slices, and each one of them is still plenty thick. So there is a Hawaiian, we're going to loosely call it that because there's no meat on it. It's just the fake pineapple. You can zucchini in pineapple juice. There's more to it than that, but and it makes pineapple flavored zucchini. Great way of using some overgrown zucchini. Then there's a meats with the leftover sausage from last night and pepperoni, and then just plain pepperoni. For my husband and I made pizza chaffles. I will put that recipe in the show notes. Chaffle is a cheese waffle is what it stands for, and it's a low carb option, and I just pizzafy it by adding in Italian seasoning, some garlic powder, and some minced up pepperoni. And I usually eat it with, I will take and put a little cup on my plate with pasta sauce in it. Sorry, screaming baby in the background. My husband's going to the rescue. But I usually just kind of break it up into pieces and dip it in the pasta sauce, and that is delicious. This has been my jam here lately. I used the last of the shredded mozzarella cheese that we have in the house to make those. And then with that, the ever-present, sorry, I have a dark shadow going on. The ever-present green beans. I can tell you right now, my kids are getting sick of green beans. We are coming to the close of the season, but for now, anytime we have them, I go ahead and fix them because I'm not getting sick of green beans. And then my kids are also, I've opened up a couple of cans of pears from the food pantry because I usually, for whatever reason, serve some kind of fruit. Usually if we have fresh fruit, I will do that. I'll make a fruit salad or something along those lines, but I don't have any, so canned fruit to the rescue. Tonight is also the one night a week that we do dessert. I have a jar full of candy from a parade that we went to a few weeks ago. There's those maple leaf cookies. There are the knockoff Oreos, like the clean ingredient Oreos that we've got. There's some of the cheesecake donuts, little mini donuts from last night. I lay it all out on the counter and I let the kids pick and choose what they want. Usually like the candy, I'll let them pick a couple of pieces. If they're small, up to 4. The cookies is just a few cookies and a glass of milk or whatever. So that is Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Saturday night and I finally got around to cooking that turkey. And I actually didn't do it how I had planned. I cut it up with the intention of just cutting it down the middle, so like butterflying it. but cutting the 2 pieces apart. And then I was going to boil one and just use it for like canning turkey, and then cook the other half as a whole half. That makes sense. But I got into it and I was like, you know what? I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of want to honor this meat a little bit better than that, I guess. It just looked so good. So I ended up quartering it, or like splitting it into pieces. So there were 2 chicken leg quarters and then a deboned breast. And I put the other one of that in a Ziploc bag with marinade on it and put it in the freezer. These are the 2 wing drumlet thingies. Then the rest of it, the bones, the neck, the rest of the carcass, it's in a crock pot right now. And then when we get done with this, I will take all of the bones out of this and throw them in that crock pot as well. I will let that go for at least 24 hours. I like 48 hours, give or take. So Monday, sometime during the day, I will turn it off, let it cool until I can handle it. And then I will pull out all the meat and the broth, strain it off, all of that. And I'll make, I'll just probably freeze it because there won't be enough to can, but I will freeze it in soup-sized portions. So some of it will have the turkey meat and the broth, but some of it will just be the broth. But trying to use it up as much as I can. All right, with that, we are having carrots, and those I put some of that maple sugar on and some butter, so the kids will be eating that. There's 2 different types of tomatoes from our garden. This is the first spaghetti squash that we're going to eat from our garden, and I just baked it and then shredded it out, topped it with some shredded cheese and some Parmesan cheese, and popped it under the broiler for a few minutes. It looks amazing. Back here is some cheesy mashed cauliflower for my husband and I, and this is a box of the roasted garlic mashed potatoes from the food pantry. So yeah, this is a big meal. I traditionally on Saturdays cook what you would kind of think as like Sunday after church meal or a Sunday dinner meal, depending on where you're from, dinner or supper. But I always do this on Saturday, so we have leftover on Saturday, so we have leftovers on Sunday. So if you are new here, this is the end of my week of meals, because when we get home from church tomorrow, I will pull out all of the leftovers that we have from the week. Little bits of this and that. I know there's some brats and some green beans. I'm trying to think what else there is, but anyway, I will pull out all of the leftovers. I will set it all out on the container or on the counter and let the kids pick and choose whatever they want. If it means they pick 2 meats and no veg, fine. If it means that they pick all veggies and no meat, fine. It's getting those leftovers used up so that we have as little to no food waste as possible. I think from last week's, I put in the compost to feed to the chickens about a half a cup of food from last week, and that was it. That was all the leftovers that we didn't got through. Because yeah, I really try to. Whatever doesn't get eaten on Sunday, I eat within the next couple of days, if I can. So then tomorrow evening for dinner, I pull out a bunch of snacky things that you would think of for like a charcuterie board. Cheese, dried meats, dried fruits, some fresh veggies, dip, chips, crackers, goat cheese, graham crackers, peanut butter, nuts, seeds, anything like that we have on hand, pickles, anything like that. I pull it all out and once again, lay it all on the container or counter. Man, I keep saying that. Lay it out on the counter and let the kids pick and choose once again whatever they want. And for that meal, I even bust out paper plates, because I really try to follow God's law of keeping the Sabbath holy and resting. And it is such an important day for me to rejuvenate myself before we step into another week. So with that being said, that is our week of meals. I will try to remember to post any relevant recipes in the show notes. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.